Welcome to 11th edition, where we take an existing magic card and design 10 more versions of it. I'm one of your hosts, Tim.
And I'm the other host, Juliet.
We're going to be making 10 new versions of Explore today, 1 and a green, sorcery. You may play an additional land this turn, draw a card.
So the second edition is set on the plane of Tarkir. It's Golden Fang Grower. It has exploit, and when Golden Fang Grower exploits a creature, you may reveal a land from your hand and put it onto the battlefield. If you do, draw a card.
Oh, that's cool.
It's not strictly better than Explore, despite the Grizzly Bear option, because you can't just draw into the land and then play it.
Yeah.
But if you're playing this on turn 2 for the Explorer, there's a good chance you might have that land still in hand.
Late game, you don't necessarily really want your 2/2 anymore, so get rid of that gorilla. Kind of got cycling in that way.
Green didn't get Exploit, but green is Sultai. Exploit is a Sultai thing, so
So third edition here, we've got Leave Home Behind. As an additional cost to cast Leave Home Behind, sacrifice a land. Draw 2 cards. You may play an additional land this turn.
Instead of discarding a second card, you're discarding this, you're sacrificing a land, and then you can usually replace the land, so you'll end up land neutral unless you have shenanigans involving Flagstones of Trocaire.
You can maybe hit a little more landfall. The Modern Horizons, like lands in your graveyard theme, could be enabled by this. It's kind of a thrill of possibility.
And the flavor totally comes home.
Alrighty, ready for another one.
Our fourth edition is Gesincourt Landing. Exalted, and when Gesincourt Landing enters the battlefield, draw a card. You may play an additional land this turn.
So how good is cantripping Exalted?
You're spending a whole turn on it?
Yeah. If I'm like chaining these, I still need to attack at some point. So I probably maybe need like a lifelinker.
I thought 1 green and a blue would be nice, because then you put down a 2-drop and then you start chaining these.
Okay.
Gesincourt Infiltrator, for instance.
And then just start smacking for 3 every turn. See if your opponent can beat that clock.
You can mix these up with Ardent, please. Get a bunch of...
In limited, I have something like Rock's War Monk, who's just going to brawl in there as my like 6/7 lifelinker. If I'm playing any sort of Enchantressy deck, this could be pretty good, because enchantments that themselves draw a card when you're playing an Enchantress deck allows you to really gun through your deck. You're playing extra lands, so you're setting yourself up for really explosive growth. All right, so 5th edition here, Endless Descent. You may play any number of lands on each of your turns. Whenever you play a land, draw a card. Whenever you draw a card or play a land, lose 2 life.
Ooh. So lose 4 life with every land you play.
I was trying to think of like how to make Fastbond more of an explorer.
Okay.
It feels like if you're just paying like 1 life per extra card draw, that goes nuclear with anybody's deck. This is just the deck for the degenerates.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Greed, so I was really interested to see like, okay, is there a Sign in Blood Explorer available? But I think doing it as an enchantment is nicely punishing.
I was thinking of like Corsive Crewfix and cards like that, like Landfall, gain some life.
I keep thinking about this with Life from Loam.
Oh, okay.
Really trying to play like 4 lands every turn.
Yeah. The Dredge prevents you from drawing.
Oh, yeah.
Is there gain life equal the amount of land you have? That's what we really need.
I mean, Stream of Life.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Yeah, just throw a couple of those in there. Every other turn, you just gain 18 life. The next turn, you go degenerate.
Oracle of Nectars.
Oracle of Nectars. I don't know this one.
X tap. You gain X life.
Oh, it's always some random Shadowmoor rare.
6th edition is not Explore, but Implore.
Oh.
Any player may have Implore deal 5 damage to them. If no one does, draw a card, and you may play an additional land this turn.
Classic Judgment Punisher effect, like Browbeat.
Book Burning, Breaking Point.
Okay, your opponent does this turn 1.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do?
Oof. Turn 1? I think I might take the damage.
Ooh. Yeah, comparing to something like Risk Factor, opponent may have 4 dealt to them. If they don't, you draw 3 cards with Jumpstart. Maybe I'm just hoping that the additional land doesn't help them that much, but maybe they're trying to like pivot on me. Like they're going to switch from burn deck into just like play a bunch of hasty 4-drops deck.
How do you feel as the burn player if you have 1 land, 5 lava spike S's? Okay, draw the card, and you don't get your second land. Well, that cycled for a mana and used up my turn.
7th edition, Beyond the Hekma. You may play an additional land this turn. When you play a desert for the first time this turn, draw a card.
The safe for work version of the Hellmaw.
Oh, the Hekma.
Oh, right. This isn't an enchantment. This is a sorcery for the first time this turn. Draw a card. How broken would it be if it said, you may play an additional land this turn. When you play a desert this turn, draw a card.
So we've got a little bit of glimpse of nature there.
Is there a world where the cost of playing deserts is low enough that this is a little bit too fast of ramp?
They're the sacrifice from play deserts like Hashep Oasis. Play one of those Painland deserts. Have more mana this turn to continue casting ramp spells, doing other stuff to stabilize. Yeah, and a lot of the deserts want you to sacrifice them anyhow, so you're probably keeping all those lands around. And maybe this card is a way for you to get those lands out for a while, get some mana going, then sacrifice a bunch of deserts later.
8th edition, Mossbridge Invocation. Pay X, discard a card with converted mana cost X, reveal the top X cards of your library, and put a land revealed this way onto the battlefield. If you do, draw a card.
I'm cycling away my spells, things that have a cost, so that I can look at a bunch of cards to grab a land out of them. But when I do that, I draw a card. So I'm kind of incentivized to be pitching things that are at least like 3 or 4 mana.
Or cards with retrace.
Whoa, wait, do you have a block combo we got going here?
This is for Shadowmoor, so it's a mirror to Nullspine Invocation and Roshin Meanderer's red-green color pair.
Oh, yeah, Roshin gives you 4 mana, but only to pay X. Jeez. You've got these other cards, who cares? Throw it away. I want to land. I guess if you're trying to get cards in your graveyard to then pay like a flashback cost, here's my Dirtle Town combo. I'm going to play Creeping Renaissance. So I'm like pitching all my creatures, powering up my lands. Then I'm going to flash this back, get all my creatures back, and then just get even more lands. That's all I'm doing. I'm just getting lands all game.
Where you can scavenge with them.
Ooh.
Or dredge, and then work together with our earlier cards.
With scavenge, you kind of want to dump like a fairly big creature. And now you have the mana to bring those counters back. That's sweet. 9th edition is Civilization.
Ooh.
Chapter 1. You may play an additional land card this turn. Draw a card. Chapter 2. Create a 0/4 green wall token. Chapter 3. Sacrifice a creature and a land. You gain 10 life. Chapter 4. Destroy each creature you don't control that doesn't share a creature type with a creature you control.
Is this supposed to represent the evolution of city-states in general, or specifically like Civilization, the video game?
So this is the genre that Civilization's in, which is the 4X genre.
Oh, yes.
So we've got Explore, Expand, Exploit, Exterminate.
And it has Explore right in there.
Yep. You get to get rid of the creature that is the same type as your opponent's creatures so that you can, set yourself up for a nice one-sided wrath on turn 4.
The way 3 and 4 can fit together, here's the warning. All of this creature type is now vulnerable.
Chapter 4, it doesn't go off until like turn 9 or 10 right now, which may be...
Exactly.
Hey, Civ games, they typically take like 10 hours. So if you don't want to play a super long game of Magic, why are you playing a Civilization card?
10th edition. You knew it was coming. Underhanded Undergrowth. Assist. Another player can pay up to 2 of this spell's cost. 2 target players each draw a card. They may play an additional land this turn.
This is
2 explores.
Yeah, we have double explore here. I like the effort put into this though, because this feels like a sweet card. This is like a great battle bondy card.
The kind of precedent was huddle up. What if it's not turn 4 when you're playing this?
I guess you have to commit to green if you're trying to do this on turn 2. A lot of battle bond green decks. 2 colors plus a splash here. You might need to deck build a little bit to make that more reasonable.
How do we feel about draw 2 cards in green? This was straight up draw 2 cards, play up to 2 extra lands.
We have in M21, there was Warden of the Woods. When your opponent targets it, you get to draw 2 cards.
Mm-hmm.
They're pretty creature-based. So I think if you have some way to staple it onto a creature, putting draw 2 cards on something's all right. All right, before I show you this card, I need you to do something for me.
Okay.
Choose left or right.
Ooh, always choose left.
Inverting Corridors. And then at the bottom, it has a ability called Intersection. As you cast it, before you reveal it, an opponent chooses left or right. So if you choose left, like Juliet, I'll create a 3/3 green mimic artifact creature token. If your opponent chooses right, search your library for a land, put it onto the battlefield, then shuffle your library. I went a little wide with the flavor of Explore here.
I love it. I love the mini games. Is every Verdant Corridors the same? Mimic is on the left, land is on the right. Oh, do I have 4 of these in my deck? Well, maybe 3 of them are this way, but one of them is the other way.
Ooh, like a garbage elemental or something.
Mm-hmm.
Each Verdant Corridors would have a different mixture of things. I think my intention when I designed this was that Verdant Corridors is just the name of this split card that makes either a mimic or gives you a land.
That's why I would want to like randomize which one is left and which one was right potentially. I know that really is an uncard thing, but there are weirder things in Magic, I suppose. Not many though. This is very cool. Is this a Punisher card?
Oh yeah.
I do like the idea of keeping all the intersections like at the same converted mana cost.
Mm-hmm.
There's one in each color and one in each enemy color pair or whatever.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, well, in a blue-green deck, it could be any one of those 3, that I think could help it be less of strictly a Punisher card.
Yeah.
I go, hey, left, 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 left. Choose left or right.
Ooh.
Like, what tell do I have? What tell does my opponent have? Thanks for joining us for another 11th edition.
If you've got your own version of Explore or a request for the next 11th edition, comment below.
You can also reach us at Magic Design Cast and on the Beacon of Creation Discord.
Thanks for watching.